right, y'all. So now let's get into this story regarding Tayonce Cardinals Swift. That's why I like to call her whenever she gets in her Beyonce era. So it only took about over 500 some odd days for her to return from her post-era tour hiatus to announce basically that she is dropping her 12th album called The Life of a Showgirl, and that comes out on October 3rd. The album is basically going to have 12 tracks because, of course, and will feature a collab with Sabrina Carpenter on the title song. Now, she revealed all of this on Travis Kelce and his brother Jason Kelce's podcast, which I did watch the full episode, and it was entertaining. Travis is being the good doting boyfriend. Jason was hilarious. He's really good with asking questions and all this stuff too. So I generally like that. And I know a lot of the majors are pissed because the fact that she went on the Kelce podcast and she gave them carte blanche to pretty much just ask anything interesting, creative about the creative process and a bunch of other things. And not going on the Call Her Daddy podcast or going on all these other podcasters that will fumble the ball or fumble the bag, drop the ball, fumble the bag, whatever the hell you want to call it, asking her whatever questions they want to ask her because they want to come across as fans rather than asking real interesting questions. And one of the things I did like during the interview was that they were asking her questions on like the masters and the creative aspect of her coming out with her music. And one of the things I do applaud her on, she said, like, I've always had this dream of wanting to, like, in her contracts, she made sure to be like, to write in her contracts that at a certain period that she can get the rights back to her music, like the masters and that sort of thing. So I like the idea. A lot of people don't think like that. They just be so happy to sign a contract. They don't be thinking about stuff along with. So she always had that business mind from the beginning. She also talked about how she sent her mother and her brother to go negotiate getting her masters back from the people that had bought it up under Scooter Braun and that sort of thing. And then after they had the little meeting, whatever, then they told her what, they're actually considering giving her the masters. She screamed. Travis came running and was like, I gotta go. And they had the conversation and she fell to her knees. She said, because, with all the emotion she was going through, her legs couldn't hold her up. So yeah, it was like a dream. And I think a lot of artists don't think in that way. Whatever your issue is and why you feel like you got to give up your heart and soul and creativity, I understand why she couldn't do that, because she's like, I worked hard on creating all of this stuff. These are chapters in my life things that I went through. And for someone else to own that, and when they die, they pass that down to their kids. And who knows what the kids of said person that owns my work is going to do with my stuff and who they're going to send it out to. But if there's other artists that's just like, you know what, I just then I don't really own the songs. All I did was hum a little sound on it, put and just add an and and got a writer credit. And you didn't really have any kind of real creative aspect to the thing, but because you are who you are, you want to be able to get a piece so that way you can get paid. Then if that's what you want to sell your stuff off on in that part, then that's fine. But Taylor is someone who is very much all about her craft. So with that being said, I'm going to play you a clip courtesy of the New Heights show Instagram, because they had that clip over there, and where she basically shows the cover and she announces the new album and all that good stuff. So hold on as we play that clip and we'll come back. Please hold.
See the back cover?
I would love to see all of it. Yes.
The back cover is where we find the 12 tracks for my 12
tracks.
12
Bangers.
So this is, so we got all.
What are they?
So we got track 1, The Fate of Ophelia.
Okay.
Track 2, Elizabeth Taylor.
Okay.
Track 3, Opalite.
Opalite.
Track 4, Father Figure.
Father Figure. All right.
Track 5, Eldest Daughter.
Hold on, before we get back to the thing, Travis is being annoying because every time when she would say something, he would always ask Jason, "Oh, do you know what that means? You know what?" He was like, "Can you stop asking me that?" So like being funny because I guess because Travis is with Taylor, she's kind of opened his mind up to a lot of intellectual stuff. So now that he knows big words and he understands certain things, I feel like he feels extra enlightened and a little more educated. So he likes to throw that in Jason's face. And Jason's like your regular dude or whatever. It's just like, whatever, I don't care. It's just, I'm just out here just, running around, hollering and screaming and showing my gut in public and doing all this stuff. Like Jason's like a dude's dude. So, and Travis is literally being like a big cheerleader for his girlfriend, and I actually like that for them. So when people go around saying their relationship is fake, if it is, that's between them. But they had me convinced.
Track 6, Ruin the Friendship. Track 7, Actually Romantic.
Now, some people think that Ruin the Friendship might be about Blake Lively, Fake Lively, aka Ku Klux Khaleesi, aka Subpoena Serena. So some people think that that's what that's about. We're gonna get into the thing in a second in regards of all the leaks and the diss tracks and Trump, the anti-Trump bashing and all the other stuff, which I should point this out. The ratings on this episode actually beats Joe Rogan's interview with Donald Trump. So clearly, Donald Trump has his moments or whatever the case is, and you talk about she's irrelevant and all this other stuff, and which is what they always say whenever somebody comes against them and then they're pissed off because they said the same shit about South Park. And South Park's ratings is through the damn roof, especially the episode that they just did with Kristi Noem. So South Park is killing it out here in the ratings. This just beat Donald Trump, so that's another. So people are sick and tired of the man and his foolishness, and the only ones that's still cucking to his buffoonery is, his deepest in the cult supporters. But let's back to the clip.
Actually Romantic.
Track 8, Wish List with $2 signs as the S's. Just thought I'd point that out.
There you
Grammatical
go.
flourish. Track 9, Wood. Track 10, Canceled, but it's in all caps with an exclamation point at the end.
That's a banger.
Track 11, Honey. And can you do drum roll? Last track, track 12, the title track, The Life of a Showgirl, featuring Sabrina Carpenter.
Sabrina Carpenter!
Okay, so you have that, and then right here you have the official album cover. She's got a bunch of different album covers, by the way, where it's basically her, Shellback, and her Shellback and Max Martin. And the album cover was actually done by Merritt and Marcus, who does a lot of stuff. I think I've done stuff with Bjork. They've done stuff with Madonna. They work with a lot of. They've done a lot of photography for a lot of artists. So. It's a cute cover. So we have that one. There's a bunch of them. And then there's the back, which she was showing in regards to this. But yeah, it's like Ruin the Friendship. I think a lot of people think that it might be about her friendship or non-existent friendship with Subpoena Serena, aka Ku Klux Khaleesi. And then there's this one here, which is giving Showgirl tease. Some people said that they think that she was inspired by that show, the last Showgirl movie with Pam Anderson, which there might be some truth to that because, Taylor is inspired by cinema, and Madonna was another one that was inspired by, there's a lot of artists who look at movies and that also inspires them. It's not just hearing music. It's also, you can watch a film and some of the overall visuals and aesthetic, because visuals and audio go hand in hand. And it's like, I can watch movies and I get inspired by things as well. So this is a cute one. And then we have this one here. I like the fact that Taylor's getting in her sexy era, and why not? Look at her giving a little booty tooch. This is giving me booty tooch Susie too. So we have that picture there, and I love the fact that she disabled. Look, like I said, she disables the comments and stuff. So for her. But to get into this story that we were talking about, now that I decided to break all the stuff that needed to be broken down. Oh wait, hold on, because that wasn't what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. So yeah, in regards to this whole situation, they said that, because I was like, where am I? Taylor Swift apparently broke the internet when she teased her appearance on, well, actually it happened already, so she's not teasing anymore. But when she went on the New Heights podcast, which is Travis and Jason Kelce's podcast, where she made the announcement for the album. Now, it's funny how before she would do that, all the leaks and everything was coming out. A lot of the Swifties were doing deep dive. I'm like, damn, can y'all wait until the record comes out before y'all start with the speculations and the deep dives and doing all this other stuff? Because there was something that she also said that I loved in her interview, and that was like, she said, I like that the fans get all involved in stuff, but that element of surprise, because she said that a lot of her fans don't like being surprised about stuff. And it's like, yes, y'all do. First of all, everything don't need to be exposed and explained and broken down and everything. It's like sometimes you do want that element of surprise, especially like when she said she started the first night of the Eras tour, which was she put herself in like one of those containers and they wheeled her out backstage so that way nobody could see what she had on. And it's like, yeah, you want that surprise of like, when I pop out on stage, not only, and I love that she's mindful of this because I feel like a lot of people really don't pay attention to the details. Not only are you performing for those people that are there opening night, you're performing for the internet too, because everybody's got their phones out, everybody is recording you, and everybody is posting your first night stuff all over the internet. So the world gets to see it. It's not just those 40,000 people that paid to see you at that stadium. So you have to be mindful of that as well. And I love the fact that she was like, you know what, I gotta find interesting ways to not only keep myself entertained, but the fans entertained as well. And that's where this album stemmed from. It's just the crazy life of being a showgirl and performing on the road, which of course some people think because she had the whole showgirl thing that she was also inspired by Kylie Minogue. And I wouldn't be surprised. There's a lot of girls out here that be inspired by Kylie Minogue. And try to act like Kylie Minogue like this underground pop star nobody ever heard of. But I'm like, okay, then if that was the case, how come she sold out, a lot of the arenas, not only around the world, but in the United States, which it took her 30-some years to get to that point. Now, amid the Swiftie chaos online, photos of the pop billionaire's alleged new album leaked on social media, claiming to show the inside cover and track list. Because I was seeing those pictures before the episode even dropped. Now, due to Swift's songwriting history, sources claim The Life of a Showgirl features tunes inspired by rumors of her relationship being a PR stunt, being dragged into longtime best friend Blake Lively's, or as we like to call her, Ku Klux Khaleesi. Shout out to Perez Hilton for that one. Legal drama and a private dark chapter. This is according to Radar Online. Now, Swift has developed quite the reputation for sneaking clues about her music and its overlap with her personal life into her brand, leading obsessed fans to analyze every inch of her social media posts, marketing, visuals, lyrics, and even red carpet looks. So when grainy images of an alleged copy of The Life of a Showgirl were leaked online, Swifties were quick to get the photos and share their theories on message boards. Of course they did, because like I said, they're always so quick to start their little deep dives. Now, one shot showed the inside of a vinyl record cover with song titles painted in an edgy red font against a black background and an image of Swift sprawled across a row of chairs in the center. A second snap included a close-up of an alleged track with Sabrina Carpenter. Well, it's not alleged, it's actually confirmed, entitled The Life of a Showgirl. The text next to her title read, written by T. Swift, Max Martin, and Shellback. So Sabrina didn't write it. But Taylor, they all come and they write everything. So fans pointed out that Swift released a Spotify playlist exclusively featuring songs she produced with Martin and Shellback, seemingly suggesting Jack Antonoff did not work on her 12th album. And here's the thing. I don't know if this was her listening to the fans or whatever the case was, but I think a lot of the complaints from the Swifties was they wanted a break from her and Jack Antonoff and a lot of what they were creating, which is fine. And also, here's the thing I totally forgot. Speaking of Jack Antonoff, he's married to Margaret Qualley. How did I not know that? I totally forgot about that. And Margaret, she was in The Substance, where she played the other part of Demi Moore, the younger version. I was like, I totally forgot that was his wife. But yeah, he married to her. She a pretty one. That's the rumor that was going around saying that she might be rogue or whatever in the X-Men movies. But anyway, but yeah, Jack did not work on this album. It was literally all her, Max Martin, and Shellback. She was recording it in between her breaks from the Eras tour. She said she would fly out to Sweden and she would go and work on the music. And I'm no shade, but the Swedes, they've got some of the best production people out there, like the greatest writers, a lot of great music comes out of Sweden. So I'm definitely, as someone, I will say this, you already know, I'm not a big Taylor Swift fan. I'm nowhere near Swiftie. However, I do like more of her pop stuff. I like some of the stuff from the Red era. I like a lot of the stuff from you already know, I love, oh my God, what was the, 1989? I almost forgot. I was like, what's the song Shake It Off? Is on like the 1989 era, because that was Max Martin. And Max Martin could work with anybody and he produces greatness. He worked with Ace of Base. He's worked with so many other artists over the years. He's worked with Robin. He's worked with rock bands like Britney Spears most famously. He's done stuff with the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. Like Max Martin's DNA, music DNA, is on a lot of your faves. He's worked with Pink. Him and Shellback have worked with Pink. Like there's been many a big artists that they work with. A lot of their biggest hits come from Max Martin, Shellback. They have a real good ear for getting you hooked on a song. And remember, at one point, Madonna was supposed to work with Max Martin on what is turning out to be Confessions on the Dance Floor Part 2. But then again, we had somebody in the comments, Robert, said, I guess because Taylor called, they were like, sorry, sis, we going over here with Miss Beyonce. So it could have been that. Then it was just like, okay, I guess Madonna was kind of not, she was taking a bit of time with her sessions or whatever. Who knows? But Taylor Swift kept calling, and we're like, okay, we got to go work with her because we've got a different rapport with her versus, how some people like to say that Madonna likes to take complete and utter control over the music and doesn't let producers come in and do what they got to do. So yeah, the titles they said on the leaked track list, which have been confirmed: Ruin the Friendship, Father Figure. Every time I hear Father Figure, I think of George Michael. Oldest Daughter, The Fate of Ophelia, Elizabeth Taylor, and Cancelled. I could definitely imagine what Elizabeth Taylor is probably about. It's probably like the overall getting caught up in the scrutiny of relationships. And remember when she got with Richard Burton, who was married? And it's just a whole, it's probably a lot of that and the spectacle of the industry and fame. And I'm wondering if that's what that's kind of about. But I'll check it out once the album comes out. I will give it a listen. So an insider reportedly said Taylor is in such a good space right now, but there was an awareness that she couldn't ignore all the drama. So it was like, yeah, you can come out with a fun record, but if you give people like that, those deep rooted lyrics, which she is good at, then there's going to be style from the production and substance with the lyrics, which is what I always enjoy from a lot of my favorite pop stars. Those who can poke fun of themselves, can be self-deprecating, can also have fun, but also have those moments where it's like, oh, if you listen to the lyrics, there's some deepness within the lyrics, within what I'm writing. So now they said there are Easter eggs in the new album about how she overcame the drama with with Fake Lively, aka Ku Klux Khaleesi. And she does, in her own way, address people who believe her relationship with Travis was a PR stunt. Now, as Radar Online reported, Swift was put in the middle of Lively's legal battle for her It Ends With Us co-star and director Will Baldoni named her in a court filing and temporarily subpoenaed her, which is why we call her Subpoena Serena. XOXO Gossip Girl. Now, they said the Gossip Girl alum referred to the singer as one of her dragons while comparing herself to Game of Thrones Khaleesi, which is why she's been called Ku Klux Khaleesi in a private text message to Baldoni. Now, sources are loudly touting their friendship to Baldoni made the cruel summer singer feel used and exploited in her friendship. And y'all already know, as Beyonce says, the best revenge is your paper. When it comes to Taylor Swift, the best revenge is her pen. So when she's actually in there in the studio and writing, and that's when she gets you. She gathers you when she gets you together. And those are the type of artists I like, that somebody can come in. So when people go around, and I remember I said this at the beginning, that, oh, I don't get why people be so obsessed with Taylor Swift, if she's so basic, and she's so this, and she's so that. Maybe exterior-wise, she does give you bland white girl. However, one of the things I will give her credit for is that she's an artist. She truly is someone who loves and has a passion for music. And when you have a love and a passion for something, it resonates and it shows and it shines through the work that you do. And you can't deny that that's what it is that she has. And I think that that's why she resonates with so many girls, not just white girls, but all different ages and ethnicities. The gays love her. Little girls love her. There's some black girls out there that are Beyonce, Knowles Carter, Swift fans. So she's going to write about her love life. She's going to write about things that have affected her, but she's also going to not take things seriously and have fun. And clearly from when I watched the interview, she definitely is in a good place. And so the insider also says some of the songs sound dramatic in terms of the instrumental, but the lyrical content on a few is romantic. It is absolutely inspired by Travis. Being loved by him has really helped her overcome some dark chapters in her life. He has proved that there are kind men out there with good hearts, and fans will hear how happy she is in the songs. And you have to also realize too, is that, yeah, you definitely see, like, when Travis was sitting there and she had her hand on his leg and he's got his arm around her and they're being very affectionate and stuff. The body language, it didn't feel fake. And it would trust and believe. I can tell when you fake in a situation. And they definitely genuinely love each other's company. And you definitely see, like, he genuinely likes and cares for her. There's just a lot of y'all out there that don't understand that, because a lot of you men hate women. A lot of y'all don't like a strong woman. A lot of you not content with who you are as a man, which is why y'all got problems with a Taylor Swift type. And I'm not just saying, because she has got money, whatever the case is. When you are a strong woman and you are assertive in who you are as a person, a lot of men can't take that. And to me, it's like, Travis knows who he is at the end of the day. He knows what he brings to the table. He knows who he is as a man. And he's not intimidated by Taylor's star or her energy or whatever the case. And that's basically probably what she needs. And I think it also comes with getting older. When you're someone who's in your mid-30s and you're pushing close to 40 and you've lived a long time and you've seen a lot of stuff, your perspective changes. And that's just coming with age and wisdom and knowing a lot. So in addition to her romance with Kelsey, sources said that Swift also was inspired by last year's presidential election, during which then candidate Donald Trump attacked the singer following her endorsement of Kamala Harris. A source said TS12 isn't a political record, but the billionaire was motivated by the excitement around Kamala last year, which is when she recorded some of the songs, saying that Taylor has a point to prove and is ready to silence people who said that her career has broke because she went woke. So because she's aware of what's going on in the world that makes her problematic, or she's lost the plot. You people say I'm dumb as hell. But anyway, so if you care, and I'm sure there are millions that do, the new album, 12th album, Life of a Showgirl, which only will have 12 tracks, is not going to have any extra tracks, although she did show different covers, which I'm sure she's probably going to, all the hardcore Swifties are going to buy every cover because they need to have it. Just if the mood ever the mood ever strikes, you could just go over to Instagram and just look at the pictures. But I guess that's not enough. People need to actually own a lot of the physical copies. And she's one of the rare artists that a lot of her fans will just buy up everything that she creates and comes out with. So congratulations, Tay Tay. I know that her album is coming out right after Cardi B's. And I did see that Cardi B commented or whatever the case was. But I'm like, girl, hopefully your album is successful, but you waited damn near a decade to put out music. Taylor Swift, you can't even stop her from putting out music. And I know some people are like, did she just put out a record? And I'm like, if you are an artist, if you're a creative and the inspiration is there supposed to be a time limit on when you're supposed to release music? There were artists that always release music every year. Rihanna released the album every year for the past 8 years. And then after Anti, she decided to disappear and push out a bunch of damn babies. And when I seen her recently, she's still pregnant. I'm like, God damn, is Riri an elephant? Because her stomach is big as a house. She's still pregnant. And I'm like, damn, the last time I felt like she was pregnant was like last year. Why is she still with child? So enough of that Riri tangent. I don't know where I was going with that. But yeah, it's like, speaking of babies, this will be Taylor's 12th child that she's pushing out. So I'll say this to say, what do you guys think of this story? Are you excited for this new album? What do you think a lot of the songs mean that have been coming out as of late regarding what's going on with Taylor Swift and all that good stuff? So whatever your thoughts are, y'all know what to do. Let me know in the comments down below.